Reasons you should not be jealous of me, except I'm only going to do it from events that happened this past Sunday on Mother's Day through today, Wednesday. So I went to visit my mom this Sunday, and we decided to go through drawers and clean them out together for fun. And we discovered my old medical records. And since 1999, when I was 5 years old, we found out that I was suicidal. And on top of it, I had ADHD and anxiety and depression. And I got held back a year because my emotional instability was so bad I didn't have bad grades. Then as we keep digging, I was actually diagnosed with bipolar 3 different times as a child, a teenager, and an adult. And I found out that I was on antipsychotics as a preteen, which is pretty tough medication. And I think I am bipolar, but on top of it, I've talked to several therapists over the past 10 years that all think I have BPD as well. And I actually just got diagnosed this week with BPD and have to start therapy for 3 hours every week. And if you miss a session, you're kicked out of the program. You have to do it for a year, and then you graduate from the program. And I already missed a session. But also, this week coming up on Friday, I have a hearing for disability because I have ME/CFS, and I'm not going to go too far into details with that, but that's been going on since 2020. My disability case has been open for 3 years now. And then my lawyer calls me and says, we don't have your medical record since 2023. And on top of it, he's like, your doctor that you have now doesn't even acknowledge that you have ME/CFS. He says you have possibly fibromyalgia. And I'm like, great, that doesn't help me at all. This is the same doctor who was 300 pounds, but didn't find it weird that I was 95 pounds for about a decade and haven't really changed anything. And then all of a sudden shot up to 140 pounds. And he said, oh, that's fine, it's normal. Maybe it's because you drink beer. I've been drinking beer since I was 16, okay? I don't think just drinking a beer with dinner is doing that. But anyway, I'm concerned about it, and he's like, I don't care. I also burnt my leg with a heater. I told him I burnt my leg with a heater, and he was like, no, this is a serious rash. And I'm like, no, I looked it up online. It can happen from burning your leg with a heater. So then he goes to a supervisor, and he's like, I think this is a serious rash, or whatever. And the supervisor's like, no, this is a burn from a heater. I've seen this before. And so I'm trying to get a new doctor, but I can't because my disability hearing is in 2 days. So on top of that, after I get off the phone, I'm in my backyard, and there is a small child who comes out of a house, and they're speaking mostly Spanish. So I actually have studied Spanish and tried to talk to them the best I could in Spanish. But then the small child came up and wanted to play with my dog, and my dog is super friendly, so I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And this kid gives this dog such a passionate hug, a very almost emotional hug. And I'm like, that's kind of weird, but not weird. It was cute, but it was different. And then the kid kept saying, "Mommy passed something," and I thought they were saying something about mommy's passport. But then I realized the child was saying, "Mommy passed away." And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry to hear that. I'm so sad, but kids also make things up. So I didn't really know what to say. And then he said something about Keelani shot mommy. And I was like, what? But also I work with students, and I'm like, okay, probably just something kids are saying. Then a man comes out of the house, and he says, oh, that's my nephew. Did he say something about his mom dying? And I said, yes. And I was expecting him to go, oh, that's just something he says. But no, he goes, yeah, that happened last week. She was shot. She was only 19. And this kid is 4 and adorable, and I wanted to adopt him right there on the spot. But yeah, the guy basically said, I'm just taking care of him. We don't know where he's going. And it broke my heart. Then I get a message from my pharmacy, and I have been on ADHD medicine since I was 17, and I've also tried it on and off since I was a kid. I've been diagnosed with ADHD in childhood, teenhood, and adulthood, and it's pretty damn obvious that I have it. So anyway, I have been on Ritalin, and I told my psychiatrist, I don't know how many times, it doesn't work, it wears off way too early. And so finally she said, I'll give you extended release. But because I had to go through insurance, there's going to be a gap between when I have Ritalin and when I don't, and I literally can't even get up or get dressed or do anything or function when I don't have it. Basically, if this wasn't a prescribed medication, I'd be no better than your next heroin addict, crack addict, whatever down the road. And that's why I have so much empathy for addicts. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. It's not that I'm an addict, it's that I need it, and I've been physically dependent on it for so many years at this point. So I'm freaking out. And so I just get the news in the same day from my lawyer that he doesn't have my medical records. My doctor is not helping me with my disability case, which is physical and mental. And on top of it, I find out I might not have my Ritalin, and then I don't think I can work because I can't even get out of bed or do anything if I don't have it. And so I work with students, so I felt really, really awkward about this, but I'm I have to be honest, because if I come into work without Ritalin, they're going to think I'm on drugs because I'm off drugs. And so I sent this very long message, and I'm sorry, I take this medication, I'm switching my medication, it's taking a while for the insurance to go through, and I ramble on, and then on top of it, I have to tell them that I have to take off work an hour early because now my hearing for the disability is starting an hour earlier than it was supposed to. And on top of that, I have, in the past week, taken off a bunch due to my ME/CFS, which causes me to get fevers and flu-like symptoms and not be able to get out of bed and not be able to walk. So I feel really bad, and I'm I won't call off. I'll go in, but I know going in is a mistake. But they're it's all good. Just do your best, you know what I mean? They thought it would be fine. It wouldn't be fine. But because I have ADHD, I forgot where I put the rest of my Ritalin. And guess what? As I'm in the car on my way to work today, I find some, and I'm I'm not religious, but I actually got on my knees. I went into my car, came back into my house, got on my knees, and thanked whatever God is out there, because it would have been bad, really bad. But now I think that they think that I am fine and don't really have ADHD that bad, because I told them I would be unmedicated and I was totally fine that day. So I sound a little insane. Then on top of it, as I'm leaving, I had to shit really bad, because I am not going to the grocery store because my anxiety is so bad. I'm just scared to go to the grocery store, and on top of it, I'm having these health conditions that make me too weak to go to the grocery store. So I haven't gone to the grocery store, and I've just been eating the most random stuff out of my house. So anyway, I had to shit really bad, and the woman I'm talking to is talking about how she just bought books about autism for her son with autism and how they weren't really politically correct and she needed to go in and white out things and fix them so that they would be more politically correct. And I should have cared, but instead I just didn't say anything, reached for the door, unlocked it, and was like, okay, have a good afternoon. And now I feel like a complete idiot. They probably think I'm like tweaking out because I'm talking about all my medications. And I actually did care. I just had to shit. And now I will spend the rest of my day trying to find my medical records to prove that I really have ME/CFS, which I do. And on top of it, ADHD, BPD, bipolar 1, severe, crippling, ridiculous anxiety, depression, and, so on. And you know what my favorite thing is? Watching creators get on here and pretend that they have mental illnesses for attention, which I'm sure I'm going to see tonight where I'm going through trying to find all my medical records, and I'm sure I'm just going to get denied for disability again, even though I work less than 20 hours a week for less than an entire year because it's only during the school year, and